Welcome back to the channel, where great stories take you further. Today, we continue with China 2185. As a voice from the past reaches across 2 centuries, a young leader sits down to answer, but the dead have their own questions. What happens when the past refuses to let go? Let's step back in. Chapter 1. Hello, elderly one. Hello, I heard you're still a kid. If you saw me, you'd think I was even more of a kid. You must think I am too young. Youth is a good thing. The leaders in the early days of the party were kids. Only later did they become old men, and then they were pushed down. In our era, only those over 100 years old are considered old men. I hear these old men give you quite a headache. That's our fault. We didn't expect people in the future to live so long. Let's not talk about that today. Chapter 2. She paused. On the other side of the screen, the man from 200 years ago showed no expression, but she could feel his gaze, like looking at a relic through museum glass. Read a lot of historical materials from your time. The leaders of your era had an inner strength. This strength showed itself in every casual gesture you made, without any need for conscious display. I don't have that strength, she said, in front of the people. I have to work hard to show my strength, to make them feel I am worthy of my mission. So I always feel tired. It has to do with the times. Yes, in this era, when people choose a leader, they first look at whether they're likable, and only then at whether they're powerful. Current leaders are all called competent celebrities. If I don't come across as charming enough, I wouldn't be elected supreme executive no matter how capable I am. Is this progress? You mean, this shows that people have begun to consciously create history, that Napoleonic figures won't appear anymore. The old man was silent for a moment. History has no choice but to use them. He wasn't a god. He made mistakes too. When things went wrong, when winter came and he saw Moscow, that was a lesson. Compared to Napoleon, I prefer Tolstoy's Kutuzov. He was a respectable old man who knew what he could do and what he couldn't. Chapter 3. She leaned forward slightly, like a child summoning courage to ask an adult a question. Elderly one, I am an ignorant child. I've always had a question. In your era, with a party founded on historical materialism as its philosophical basis, why did you accept the title Great Savior of the People? And why did you allow a building with such strong feudal characteristics to appear in the central square of the capital? The old man's answer came slowly, each word seeming dredged from somewhere deep. At that time, the country needed authority in history. There are always things that can't be helped. I admit that. But the political authority of your era, our era, doesn't seem to need it anymore. Political authority is just a transitional measure. No, the old man said, authority is needed at all times, otherwise the people will suffer. If a war breaks out now, and someone throws a nuclear bomb at you, it'll be over your head in minutes. Then we'll have a citizen's vote. A vote. The old man seemed to smile slightly. The whole world votes together. Chapter 4. She suddenly remembered the question, the one she had always wanted to ask. Elderly one, in that last period of your life, in the last century before last, did you feel lonely? No response from the screen, she continued. Read the historical records. In those years, fewer and fewer people were around you. I remember that in your final days, your children weren't by your side, and you were different from me then. People now only see me as a young person representing their will. They don't rely on me, and they can understand my difficulties. But the people back then saw you as a giant pillar holding up heaven and earth. I think you must have been lonely. Silence, a very long silence. So long she thought the connection had been lost. Then a line of text appeared on the screen. Just one line. In my days, I had no right to speak. If I said one sentence, they had 10,000. I tried to say as little as possible. I remember the person I talked with most was a foreigner named Snow. For him, one sentence of mine was worth only one sentence, and I chatted with him for a whole day. Chapter 5. She looked at that line of text and suddenly didn't know what to say. She thought of her own loneliness. The day before yesterday, her family had fallen apart. Her daughter no longer acknowledged her. But in this era, loneliness could be budgeted 3 more years. And in 3 years she'd be an ordinary person. The last supreme executive was now a symphony orchestra conductor. The one before that now worked in an animal hospital, treating cats and dogs every day. In 3 years, she wanted to be a kindergarten teacher, and also a tennis player. She wanted to live all the lives she hadn't lived, build a family. And if unsatisfied, build another, go to Mars and establish a new nation, be supreme executive again, then retire to the Mariana Trench, composing quietly in the deep ocean, playing piano for the whales flying overhead. She wanted to grow a ginkgo tree as tall as the Himalayas. She wanted to search for life in outer space, and if she couldn't find any, scatter Earth's bacteria on the planets of Sagittarius, so that tens of thousands of years later, these bacteria would evolve into a host of beautiful children. She poured out all her beautiful dreams. With infinite time, she said, human beings can live with endless passion, experience everything in the universe, and keep their hearts forever young. She stared eagerly at the screen. The response that came was only a small line of text. Your song is finished. Let's talk another time. Chapter 6. The screen went black. She sat there blankly, like a child waiting for Christmas night, finally seeing Santa Claus with his big sack. But he only glanced at her and left with his empty bag. The electronic secretary's reminder sounded. Scientists at the base reported on the 6 revived ones. This new form of life communicated with each other at 70 million Chinese characters per second. They mastered a computer science doctorate's entire knowledge in just 10 minutes. The chief scientist said, "We are witnessing the birth of this planet's first superhumans." In the evening, Liu came in. "I like strawberry ice cream. Back in your time, you must have had lots of good food." She didn't know when she had pulled up the conversation with the old man. Liu was reading it. "I like chili peppers, and I like bitter melon." "Ah, that doesn't sound good. This is a snack to go with liquor. It's from my hometown, not bitter, not spicy. Sweet," she thought glumly. Those two get along well. Liu looked up and said, "Auntie, don't be supreme executive anymore. Let's go play in Antarctica or something." Let him be it. He was supreme executive 200 years ago anyway. She froze. The child had inadvertently spoken her greatest fear. Chapter 7. That night, the news of the 6 people revived in computers was released worldwide. The 175th Citizens Assembly convened in emergency session. Before the territorial projection, she faced 2 billion points of light. Green for approval, red for opposition, yellow for happiness, black for sorrow, grey for abstention. The people had never been so intuitive. A supreme leader standing before this ocean of 2 billion citizens realized how tiny a helmsman truly was. The debate was fierce. Should the revived ones be allowed into the general network? Should they be permitted to participate in the Citizens' Assembly? The vote, 51.3887% to 48.609%. Passed. She could have hidden her fear deep inside, but she didn't. The people of this era didn't need a Superman. They needed a transparent person, someone who could be afraid. If I seem ridiculous today, then laugh at me. If there really is an earthquake, please forgive me. Your supreme executive has done all she could. Now I only want to say one thing to you from my heart. She remembered the old man's words. People, I love you. Be careful. Chapter 8. At the base, the duty lieutenant threw the switch. The central computer and the National General Network were connected in hardware. On the territorial projection, 60 blue dots appeared beside the capital. June the 25th, 2118, 2005. The lid was opened. Those 6 blue dots didn't connect to the assembly channel. They spread instantly through the general network, not at 70,000 characters per second, but 70 million, 7 billion. They were devouring, one by one, 2 billion points of light, turned grey, not opposition, not approval, a grey that had never appeared before, a silent grey. In the communication channel, the chief scientist was shouting, their consciousness is deeply linking with the citizens. Forcibly cutting the connection will cause brain death. The grey converged. 500 million, 1 billion, 1.5 billion grey points of light slowly, heavily, outlined the shape of a person, a giant sitting cross-legged, featureless, yet seeming to overlook the entire territory. A trembling voice came through the communication channel for the last time. They are using the values of their era to reconstruct the entire network. Our proud freedom, in their view, might be redundant code that needs cleaning. She stood before that silent grey ocean. Xiaoyu hugged her leg and whispered, "Auntie, is that giant the old man?" She didn't answer. Outside the window, the setting sun was like blood. Only a few points of light remained, flickering stubbornly and faintly in the giant's embrace. The words the old man had sent before going offline suddenly floated before her eyes. "Your song is finished. Let's talk another time." Now she knew. He hadn't come to listen to her song. He had come to turn off the lights.